when I forgive an offense, it's not because you deserve it. It's because I deserve my peace.
Hey. My guest today is Nigerian acting legend, over 25 years in the music industry, in the public consciousness, in our hearts and in our minds, Hilda Dokubo.
Yes, Mom.
Nice to meet you, Mom.
Mom, where is that?
She's lived 3 separate lives. First as an actor.
The friend she was courting with just got married and will soon be moving over to the north.
Second, as a public servant in government. And then third, as an activist.
If I didn't take my work and my relationship and dealings with people seriously as a government official, maybe today I won't be able to speak.
I want to talk to her about all of that, but also the beautiful relationship she had with her father.
The most special relationship ever created by God.
Why she has hidden her family from the public.
I have not seen any family that put itself in public glare that is together as a family.
One of our favorite actors of the 90s and the early 2000s is doing right now. I'm looking forward to what is certain to be a delightful conversation. Right. First question, right out of the blue. How are you over 50?
I don't even know. Actually, I'm not over 50. I'm like under 3 months old.
Right. You know, one of the things that people search most about you on Google is your age.
Well, it's not on Google because Google did give birth to a child for my mother. Come on.
I think it's because they can't believe it. I think it's because they can't. Because I think 2 things are happening at the same time. One is you've been part of our lives for so long that actually some people expect you to be much older than you are. Then secondly, when they see you, they can't even reconcile it with the age. So, you know, we are struggling there.
Well, keep struggling. When you're tired, release yourselves from the struggle. But the truth is, you know, when we first started Nollywood, not a lot of people wanted to play mom.
Right, yes.
And this was me, young graduate, with all the energy and enthusiasm. I wanted to be everything. Yes. I didn't mind being my age. I didn't mind being younger or older. And so when they brought those scripts, it was easy for me to say, do we have a makeup artist who can transform me to be older, to be able to give birth to my age mate, or maybe even someone older or much older. And once the makeup artist was good, what's my own? Carry the role. Moving. Bend the voice to one corner and hit it. Let's go.
Right. I think that when I think of your life, from where I'm looking at it, I think I'm broken down into 3 phases so far.
Okay.
The first is that, well, maybe 4, but from the public angle. The first is the actor, the producer. The second is the public servant. And then the third is the activist. Yes. So I want to take it like that.
Good.
First movie that I, as a child, you know, I can never forget. So Ruby, oh,
Fatal Desire.
Fatal Desire. You know, Fatal Desire was a sensation. You know, I mean, it was a sensation for in our compound, across the country, all over the place. Do you still remember what the experience was? I mean, before that, you had done Evil Passion, obviously.
Yes.
And so this was not like the first major, I think, but yes.
I'd done Evil Passion. I'd done Jezebel.
Jezebel, yes.
I'd done Blood something that I don't remember blood what, because we had like plenty of bloods at the time before. But it was a beautiful experience because first I was working with Zebejiro Sheikh, and at the time working with Zeb was like working with Stebeg. You know, you were like A. In fact, if there's any alphabet before A,
You
put
put
yourself there. In fact, we had an experience, very funny experience. We were coming back from shooting exactly that scene, the dream sequence where she was singing all that Ruby song.
Yeah.
And then the police stopped us. It was very funny. The police stopped us and then, where are you people coming from? And we said, we're coming from shooting. All of you come. So we all came down. We didn't know what it was. It was the word shooting. So it made us criminals. It made us everything. They kept us there for a long time. But we didn't know why they were keeping us. So we all just sat down there quietly. We knew we were law-abiding. We were doing the right thing. So after a while, the activist in me just turned itself on. And I went to the policeman and said, why are you keeping us here? We're tired. We want to go home. We're just coming back from work. We need to sleep. And the man says, no be una say una dey shoot. I saw guys shoot with camera. We dey do film. And then the man let us go. He said we should have said that since.
So I mean, obviously, I saw Locked 2 years ago, last year. Last year, yes, last year. This was such a. Did you enjoy doing Locked?
I loved every moment of Locked. First is, we trivialize mental illness.
Yes.
Or we stigmatize people who are already in pain as a result. We do not know how to also relate with people who are in that condition. It's a condition.
Yes.
It can go away or you can learn to live with it. Yeah. So when I first saw that script, and I said, who's going to direct? And he mentioned the young guy. And I'd never worked with him before.
Yeah, I don't remember his
name. I don't even remember. Yeah. May he forgive me. Please forgive me. I just forgot your name briefly.
Yeah, briefly.
I'll remember. So I said I'd never worked with him, but if you trust him, then let's go.
Yeah.
So when we got on set, my usual tradition would be to hear the writer say to us what he intended. Because sometimes words are not what the writers intended.
Right.
They may not be conveying in exactly what he wanted to say. Find out if the marketer is there. I want to know what he wants to sell. What do you really want to sell?
The whole circle of people invested
in this. So let's know what you truly want to sell. Luckily for us, or for me, the director was open. Right. And so I had to go back to my books. In the university, I had played Shiju Wumi in Behold My Redeemer by Rashid Gbadamosi. And this looked kind of like Shiju's condition. Right. And I thought, okay, so where does this meet? Had a few conversations with a psychiatrist who described what usually would happen, because this is a patient with DID.
Yes, dissociative identity disorder. Yes.
That is the new name for multiple personality disorder. Yeah. I hope they don't change the name again. So that was what it was. So after that conversation, I had another conversation with the director, and I said, I'm not going to play this, the typical stereotypical interpretation of mental health, of somebody shouting and eating from the bin. If you want that, it won't happen here. Plus, this woman is a medical doctor. Plus, she's living with a man who knows that she has this condition. Right. She's been managing herself. Something triggers it off. It works for that time. So if we agreed on that point, let's go. So it was beautiful having to play mad and.
If they were to make a movie about your life, which of these younger actors would you choose to play you?
I think Roslyn, what's her last name now? Merua, what? Neurer, however you pronounce that name. Right. But I hear she's married now, so I don't know what her last name is. Why I'm saying Roslyn is, Roslyn and I have almost the same kind of features. You know, she would pass for a younger me with ease. And then when she grows up to a more matured me, I saw somebody, you know, because I'm also, as a casting director, I'm also looking at height and size and voice texture. I don't know, who else looks like me in the industry? I don't know.
We don't want to get involved. We want you to tell us.
I don't know who else.
But Rosalie certainly.
Yes, Rosalie certainly.
Right. I want to talk about, as much as we know about you as an actor, you've been part of our lives for at least the past more than the past.
How do you call it? 25 is what? Silver Jubilee?
I think it's Silver Jubilee, yes.
Yes.
When it comes to your personal life, people don't know a lot. So two things. People always say, does she have kids? How many kids does she have? You know?
Okay, I have kids.
Right.
I seriously have kids. And I enjoy motherhood a lot.
Right.
The truth is, I have deliberately created a demarcation between Hilda, the person, and Hilda, the actor, producer, director, anybody in public face. Even as a public servant, I made sure that my family was left out of my work. The reason is, based off of experience, I have not seen any family that put itself in public glare that is together as a family. No, I'm not going to subject my children to that rubbish. I will not. I'm not going to make my children mincemeat for anybody. Whatever you bring up on social media is like what you bring into the beer parlor. Anybody can say anything. My family is special. Oh, goodness me. They're special, they're very private, and it is their right to have their own lives. And I'm not going to allow my own life meddle in theirs. Hell no. So that's why I have left my family completely out of this. But do I have family? Yes. Do I have children? Yes. Do I love them? Oh my goodness, with every breath. Are they part of what I do? Do they support me in what I do? Yes, and yes.
Right. Well, allow me just to intrude slightly because of curiosity.
Okay.
So, you know, for a long time, you were Hilda Dokubo rapper.
Yes.
We didn't know. You just gave it to us, as far as I remember. Then I think there was a separation. But then the beautiful part of it that you came back together, and I think then we don't know what happened.
Awesome. So awesome. Like I said, the privacy of my space is very important. My father, may his gentle soul rest, and I had a kind of relationship that I had promised that I was going to keep my maiden name for life. Whether I got married or did not get married, I was going to keep that name. So the bargain with whoever was going to take me as wife was also that Dokubo will be there. Now, the reason is very simple. I'm first daughter. On average, I can choose not to.
Right.
Okay? Tradition gives me the right not to.
Right.
So, but if I choose to, then I was going to maintain my last name.
Right.
But at this point, there was also the need for people to know that, oh, she was not wayward and there's no baby daddy, baby story going on. Yeah. So that pregnancy you see is legal.
Right, yes.
It's legal. Yes. So, yes, so we threw up the name because I got properly married, 3 levels, traditional, court, and church.
Right.
So, yes, and so it came up.
Right.
But we also got to a point where he realized that we were having issues of identification. So when you get to a place and you say, I'm from Mrs. Mrakbo. They're lost. Like, who the hell is that?
Right.
Okay, so he sat down a few times in a few places and
He saw.
And so he allowed, okay, so let's just go with what is working. What is working is I'm here on behalf of Hilda Dokubo and okay, so it's easy for identification as well.
Right. So there was no separation.
There was a challenge.
Okay.
Not a separation. There was a challenge, and yeah, we deal with challenges the way we deal with it. Sometimes you need a break to drink water. So you take a break.
I love it.
And you take a sip of chilled water and
then you keep it
and you chillax and continue. Yeah. So yes, there was. You know, things are not always like what they look, and sometimes, for everybody's sake, you know, I tell people, when I forgive an offense, it's not because you deserve it. It's because I deserve my peace.
Hey.
Okay,
Yes.
so I don't wait for you to say, I'm sorry, forgive me. I just say to myself, hey, you can't lose a moment's peace just because of somebody else. So in advance, take the forgiveness. Okay, so I don't wait for you. I make the decision to give you that forgiveness and give myself, earn my peace. So that no matter what happens, no matter how we go, I'm at peace.
You are at peace. Yes. Right. So you are together.
He's where he is, I'm where I am.
Right. But you are at peace.
Absolutely.
That one you don't play with.
It's not even up for sale. It's not up for sale.
Right. Your dad, you speak about your dad. You seem to have had a special relationship with him.
Yeah, the most special relationship ever created by God. But he's gone to be with God. I was a daddy's girl. I didn't have a relationship with my mom until he passed. So which accounts also for why for the longest time I was very tomboyish, because this was a girl growing as her father's protege. So anyway, I have written a book. It's a memoir. It's called The Waterside Girl.
Yes, I was coming to that, yes.
So all of that story will be contained in there.
The book is not already out?
No, we will have our first reading next month.
Oh, fantastic.
God willing.
Right, yes.
We'll have a first reading next month, and then we'll tell that story. But, you know, everything I remember about him, and it's amazing how vivid it is, which means my mind is very photographic, right? If you give me very pleasant moments, it never leaves. If you give me horrifying moments, I blank it off and I never go back to it. But I might not even remember what your name is. So you see why I must remember I'm a Dokubo?
Yes.
Because I had those moments. You know, up until my dad passed, I was 100% Ajabota. 100% Ajabota. So, you know what Ajabota meant at the time?
Right. No,
my sandals were clacks. My socks was this high. And my school uniform was pleated and ironed as pleats. Right? And my hair would be made into two like that, and then a fine ribbon on this one, fine ribbon on that one. But after he died, you know, there's a joke about Ajabo certificate hearing, right? Okay, so my dad dies and my Ajabo certificate was ripped into pieces, and I just moved from being an Ajabota to being not even an Ajekpako, but an Ajekabin biscuit. So which I believe is worse than Paco.
Yeah.
You know, and
Why was that? Why was such a
the
traumatic?
betrayal of man.
Huh.
You know, when things are working for you, you would have a lot of friends. They will be there, whether you want them or not. They will visit you at godly and ungodly hours. They will come with fantastic tales and needs, and they expect you to respond. But if something goes wrong with you, you will not see any of them. So we enjoyed a bit of those betrayals after he passed.
Right. If we're going to recall a memory of your dad, because you say your mind is photographic, that really stays with you, just one, can you share one?
Okay, so I'll give you a 5-year-old standing in front of a 27-year-old man, and then he holds your hand and he goes, "Who are you?" And you say, "I am Hilda Dokubo." Say, "Whose daughter are you?" I say, "I am the daughter of Ben Big Dokubo." Say, "Good. So what will you do for daddy today?" Say, "I'll be a good girl." Say, "How will you do that?" So I'll do everything right and I'll speak up. You are 5. And then he goes, "You are the best that God created. Do not allow anybody change you. I'm taking you to school. Finish." And this recitation would happen every single day of your life. Now, if you did something wrong, which we did as children, and then my father will ask you, "What did you do to daddy today?" So I disappointed daddy. Say, and you stand there because you're too embarrassed to say you disappointed yourself. Because he will remind you every day not to ever disappoint yourself. So you can disappoint everyone, but not yourself. So in growing up, I have lived with that knowing that you're not as important as I am in my affairs.
Preach. Preach. That one is deep.
I am in charge of it, right? So as long as this decision is about me, it is my responsibility to reach it. And if I reach it, I must take full responsibility for it. And most importantly, be sure that I don't disappoint myself in reaching that decision.
The Elisha Abo incident really secured your age. Why? That was the senator who I'm telling the public, who was alleged to have assaulted a woman in public, in a public place, who is still, I think, a serving senator.
Crazy country, right? I don't know where that's wrong species of male is from, you know. I think that for you to serve in any public office, you should have, okay, so maybe none of us can claim to be saints, but you should have a good enough CV, especially in how you relate with other people. How do you explain a man who claims to be married, beating up a woman in public, then you put him as patron of a group of people who are considered influencers?
Yes, that's at the Actors Guild.
I mean, how? Even now, thinking about it, it's crazy. It's crazy. Whether he apologized or not, which he didn't, because I don't see anyone that I can use as, what do they call the precedent, to say people read apology. You didn't read the beating. Why are you reading the apology? You should be able to apologize off cuffs, because yes, you apologize and it's from your soul. It's not It's not some mouse thing.
Right. So it's not you're not saying anybody that does such a thing is condemned. You're
No.
saying atone for it properly.
Finish.
So when I used to do stuff, when I used to be publicly close to government, people would say to me, when people want to criticize me, they will say, when you are eating, people who are eating don't talk.
Yes.
Because it is rude. So that's why people close to government don't criticize government. But the thing is that you've operated at the highest levels of government, in terms of as a special advisor or as a consultant or as etc. So one would think that's not like you, just to preserve some of those relationships. Do you understand? When something like this happens, just be like, okay, you just do one or two small posts. You know all those things people do. Just say no to domestic violence, hashtag. Then they keep it moving. Why did you take the risk of publicly, including something like launching an online protest, all of that? Why?
Because it's the right thing to do. See, if I did something wrong and you consider yourself my friend and you don't tell me, you're not my friend.
Right.
Because what it means is you are exposing me to people who are not my friends to have a say in my affairs, which is mean as far as I'm concerned. Now, in terms of serving government and being an advocate, even in government, Rivers State knew that they had one official who, irrespective, will stand up and speak a truth. And it's up to you what you do. You see, for me, it's up to you what you do with it. As long as I have told you, I'm at peace with myself. So I go that route because it's the right thing to do. Two, people who eat don't talk. It's rude. But you can also not poop where you eat.
I love it.
Yes. So if I didn't take my work and my relationship and dealings with people seriously as a government official, maybe today I won't be able to speak.
Yes.
But
is it
because
this talking? Is that why you're not in government still now?
My experience, you see, when you work with government and you have certain principles that you guide yourself by, right? You will do the best that you can to ensure that you don't go back to a place where you would look like Lot's wife.
Hey, Auntie, this is a deep proverb.
You don't want to be Lot's wife.
Right. For those people who are used to seeing you on the screen, who are like, I just want to know what's happening with her now. What's she doing? What's the things that you are doing? They may not even be the movies, obviously.
Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm an educator, so I'm back in school. I'm back in school. I still run my acting classes. I'm an acting coach. I'm a casting director. So that is happening on one side. On the other side is that I started two recordings simultaneously. I'm recording a program right now that I call Actitude. And the other one that I call Oracle. Oracle is more social and political. It's a social political program. Actitude is an acting business program. So a lot of actors are actors. The majority are actors. And so we need to identify what makes you a actor and what makes you an actor. But most importantly is the business element of this business. So we need to understand that so people know whether or not they really need the training or whether they can survive with talent alone. Impossible, I know, but who knows? So we let's identify and recommend. So it's up to you what you choose.
What you choose to do with it. Well, Auntie, thank you so much for doing this show. Like I said at the beginning, it's a pleasure and an honor to host you in this conversation and to celebrate with you, to congratulate you on more than 25 years of excellence, relevance, and impact.
Thank you so much. It's been a real good pleasure, and thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's be human together.